Hi, Archie, aka Book Eating Boy, aka Bob. How are you?
Sorry for late.
That's okay. I will go ahead.
Oops,
I forgot to hit share screen. Okay, so we have started in here on Secret Agent Jack Stalwart. I think it's Stalwart. And the Puzzle of the Missing Panda. This is the 7th book in the series, and it is the one where Jack is going to China. Here's Jack. So we have looked, we'll just take a look here. We have looked at the map of China. We have learned a little bit about Jack. We learned about the director of the Global Protection Force does not want Jack to ever know about his brother and that his brother is alive and still working for this organization at a secret location. It says, do not give Secret Agent Jack Stalwart this information. And we learned a little bit about Jack's gadgets and gizmos. For example, his watch phone, Wizzy, the magic map, the Secret Agent book bag. So if I'm going to tell our YouTube audience that if they missed the first episode for this book, they might want to go back and watch it so that they know all about Wizzy and the magic map and the watch phone and how those all work together, and a little bit more about what the Global Protection Force is. But today we're going to learn a little bit about Jack's family. Remember, these are still the pages of information that we need to find out about before we can start the story. So we're going to learn about Jack's family today. Then we're going to learn a little bit about China, things that we need to know. And then finally, more gadgets and gizmos. And then finally, we will be able to start the story. So we do have a lot to do. There's a lot of information in this book that has to be read before we can start the story. All right, so first let's find out about Jack's dad. Jack's dad, his name is John. He moved the family to England. That is in Europe. It's kind of halfway between America and Taiwan, I think. Europe is the continent just north of Africa. So if you picture the United States and then you head east across the Atlantic Ocean, you will head over to Europe. And if you keep going east, then you will cross Russia and Asia and actually China. And then you just need to get southeast a little bit and you'll be at Taiwan. And then you just keep on going east across the Pacific Ocean and you'll be back at the United States again. Just kind of goes around. So England is in Europe and they speak English in England. So John, the dad, moved the family to England when Jack was 2 in order to take a job with an aerospace company. An aerospace company is a company that is working on airplanes, rockets, anything that travels through space or through the air. As far as Jack knows, his dad designs and manufactures, this is a fancy word for makes, airplane parts. Jack's dad thinks he is an ordinary boy and that his other son, Max, the one that's missing, attends a school in Switzerland. Switzerland is another country in Europe. Jack's dad is American, and his mom, that's how they say mom in England, his mom is British, okay, which means from England, which makes Jack a bit of both, kind of half American and half British, or from the UK, the United Kingdom, or you could say from England. Although the United Kingdom is made up of more than England. I think we better take a quick break here and find out where Switzerland and England are. Okay, let's start by taking a look at where Europe is when we look at the world. Now, first, we're going to zoom in here and we'll take a look at a few things. So right here, we can see what? Taiwan, which makes this China. And what would this be? Japan. And this right here is Korea. Okay, so that gives us a look at where we are on in the world map. And then remember, if we were to leave Taiwan and go that way across the Pacific Ocean, then we would actually come over here, and then we would find ourselves in the USA, the United States of America, or here's Canada. Up here, this is actually Alaska. This is part of the USA of America. And here's Mexico. Down here is South America. This is Africa. This whole area right here is the continent of Asia, Australia, and down here is Antarctica on the South Pole. But here
Taiwan is Asia too.
Excuse me?
Taiwan is Asia too.
Yes, Taiwan is also Asia. Yep. Asia is a big continent. So in
is it the biggest?
Yes, Asia is the biggest continent. So we can actually see the 7 continents. This is the word I keep saying, continent. And there are 7 continents. So we have here North America, and we have South America, and we have Africa, and we have Asia, and we have Australia, and then we have Antarctica. Antarctica looks bigger than it is because it's actually just on the South Pole, but they've taken a globe, a sphere, a circle, and they've stretched it out into a flat rectangle. And when they did that, what was on the very bottom on the South Pole ends up looking like it's bigger than it is. Okay, so those are the continents. But I want you to see where Europe is. That's in red. So that's a small continent, and it has many countries. Let's take a look at the countries of Europe. Okay, so here you can see the countries of Europe. Now we have Spain and France, we have Italy, and we have Greece. Down here is Africa, the continent of Africa. This blue water is the Mediterranean Sea. First, we're going to look for Switzerland. So Switzerland is right here. Switzerland, right here. It's a very little country. So Switzerland is right here. It's just north of Italy, and it's just to the east of France, and it's south of Germany. And if we head across France and across this water, then this country right here is the UK, or the United Kingdom. And this is Ireland. So let's take a closer look here at the UK. The UK, or the United Kingdom, is made up of a few different parts, kind of like that. Should fit in there a little bit. Okay, so we have England, Wales, North Ireland, and Scotland. So those 4 areas make up the UK. We can see another picture of the UK right here. So this shows England in green, Wales in purple, Northern Ireland is in red, Scotland is in yellow. The Republic of Ireland, which is this gray area, is its own country. So when he says England, we say someone from England is British, but we're also talking about the United Kingdom. Okay. So Jack's dad does not realize that Jack's older brother Max is actually a secret agent and is missing. Jack's dad thinks that Max is going to a private school, like a boarding school where he lives in a country called Switzerland. All right, Jack's mom. This is the mom. Her name is Corinne. One of the greatest moms as far as Jack is concerned. He thinks she's awesome. When she and her husband received a letter from a posh school in Switzerland, that means a very fancy and expensive school, inviting Max to attend, they were overjoyed. Since Max left 6 months ago, they have received numerous, that means many, notes in Max's handwriting telling them he is okay. Little do they know, that means they don't know, it's all a lie, and that it's the GPF, the secret organization, sending those letters. Can you believe this secret organization? I think that we are supposed to like this organization because they do good things and they save the world from bad guys. But my goodness, they've got Max, who's a kid, working away from his family in secret. His brother doesn't know he's still alive, right? Jack is looking for him. He just knows he's missing. The director of the organization refuses to let Jack know what Max is doing or even that he's okay. And the parents think he's at a school in Switzerland that he is not at. And this organization keeps writing letters to the mom and dad, pretending to be Max and making their handwriting look like it's from Max and saying he's doing great when it's not even Max at all. My goodness. I don't know what to think about this organization, the GPF, right? GPF. All right, well, now we're finally going to learn a little bit more about Max. 2 years ago, at the age of 9, so how old is Max now?
11.
So 2 years ago, at the age of 9, Max joined the GPF. Max used to tell Jack about his adventures and show him how to work his secret agent gadgets. So Max did not keep it a secret from Jack. When the family received a letter inviting Max to attend a school in Europe, Jack figured it was to do with the GPF. Max told him he was right, but that he couldn't tell Jack anything about why he was going away. So here's 9-year-old Jack. So now Jack has turned 9, so we know Max is 11. That means when Max joined the GPF at the age of 9, Jack would have been 7. So when he was 7 and 8 years old, he was learning all about the GPF from his brother, Max. Well, 4 months ago, now Max left 6 months ago. So 4 months ago was just 2 months after Max left. 4 months ago, Jack received an anonymous note saying, now anonymous means we don't know who it's from. There's no name signed to it. Okay, so he doesn't know who sent it. And this note said, "Your brother is in danger. Only you can save him." Well, as soon as he could, Jack applied to be a secret agent too. Since that time, he has battled some of the world's most dangerous villains. Remember, a villain is a fancy word for the bad guy. And he hopes someday in his travels to find and rescue his brother Max. Now, his boss, the director of the GPF, knows where Max is and knows that Max is fine, but he's not telling that to Jack, which Miss Camp does not like. All right, so now we're going to learn a little bit about China. Now, I think the author does not know China as well as you do, because we already found out that the author has written some of the words not quite right. So we'll have to see if you agree with everything that the author says here about China. All right, well, we know that the map, the flag of China looks like this, minus the color. This color should be
Red.
Red. And how about the stars?
The star should be yellow.
Okay. All right, so China is located on the continent of Asia. We just saw that on our map. And the capital city is Beijing, pronounced Beijing, Beijing. Can you say Beijing in Chinese for us?
Beijing.
Thank you. Beijing, is that right?
Yes, my auntie is in Beijing.
Okay, well, we also know here, at least at the time that this book was written, it's the third largest country in the world. Now, when they say the largest, I'm not sure if they're talking about the size or how many people are in it. But it does say next that 1 out of every 5 people on Earth live in China. Boy, I'd kind of like to check that. 1 out of every 5 means 20%. 20% of the world lives in China. That's a lot of people. All right, then we have some more information. Most people in China make their living as farmers. They grow lots of things, including rice, corn, sweet potatoes, and peanuts. Chinese people use symbols instead of letters in their writing. There are over 40,000 Chinese symbols. China's official currency, this means their money, is the yuan. I'm not sure how to say that. Do you know how to say the name of the money in China?
I don't know.
No, either. It's different from in Taiwan. And the official language is Mandarin. Although here it says, although lots of other languages are spoken. Yeah, I don't know about that. I just think the language.
But it's Mandarin before, but not now.
Oh, what is
now,
it?
In China, Taiwan is Mandarin too, but in China now it's not, because they have they have to speak it another way, not in Chinese, but the same
They have a different accent.
Chinese too, but they have to speak it another way.
Okay. I'm not sure what name we would use, but it is true that It sounds a little bit different in China than in Taiwan, and they definitely write their language differently than we do in Taiwan.
Yes, now, but not before.
Right.
Before are the same.
Right. Okay, now we're going to learn a little bit about the giant panda, facts and figures. More giant pandas live in China than anywhere else in the world. The Chinese name for the giant panda means large bear cat. All right, do you know the Chinese name for the giant panda, for this animal?
Yes.
What is it?
熊猫.
Oh, I know Mao. That means cat.
Yes.
So tell me again.
Wait. Oh, sorry, it's not 熊猫, it's 毛熊.
Mao Shong. Does that mean like cat bear?
Yes.
That's what
But it's bigger than cat.
Yeah. Well, they call it like a large bear cat. All right. What else does it tell us here? Pandas mainly eat bamboo, although they like eggs, honey, and insects too.
No, they don't.
Oh,
No, they don't like eat eggs and insects. They just like eat honey or bamboo.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to cross this out then. No eggs, no insects. Okay.
But sometimes when there are no bamboo or honeys, they might eat insects or other plants or eggs.
Okay. Thank you for your help with that. Since their digestion is poor, digestion is what happens to the food after we eat it, and it goes into our body, and then inside our body, all sorts of stuff happens to the food before our body can use it, and that is called digestion. Well, since their digestion is poor, they eat for up to 12 hours a day. Like you and me, we only need to eat 3 or 4 times a day, just have a meal. But the panda has to eat up to 12 hours a day. Panda paws have 5 fingers and 1 thumb. We have 4 fingers and 1 thumb. They have 5 fingers and a thumb. I did not know that. Did you know that?
No.
The main threat to the giant panda is the loss of habitat due to logging and human development. Okay, what that means is if people keep chopping down the bamboo forests in order to use the bamboo for other things or to make houses on the land, then that's a threat to the giant panda because it loses a place to live and it loses its food. Habitat, this word here, is talking about the area where it lives. All right, now we're going to learn a little bit about the Terracotta Army, facts and figures. The Terracotta Army is not.
It's called, in Chinese, it's called 兵马俑 because when it is maybe 100 years before, when a king died, they have a terrible army.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's under the ground.
Right. It's a collection of over 8,000 clay statues made to look like real officers and soldiers. They were commissioned by the first emperor of unified China named Qin Shi Huang. Qin Shi Huang.
It's called Qin Shi Huang.
Thank you. Can you say that again?
Qin Shi Huang.
One more time.
Qin Shi Huang.
Qin Shi Huang.
Wait, I will write the word on here.
Okay. Oh, great. Thank you for doing that.
It's there.
Okay, so he was the first emperor of unified China. And he placed these clay soldiers, these 8,000 clay statues, he placed them near his tomb when he died in 200 BC. I have to figure out where to put that there. Okay. So 210 BC means before zero. So we are right now 2022 years after zero. So if we go back 2022 years and then keep going back another 210 years, that's how long ago this was. So 2022, that would be 2,232 years ago. The statues were discovered in 1974. So they had been there for a long time. Maybe 2,000 years or so. Near Xi'an by a man drilling for water. He was just out drilling for water, maybe trying to drill a well, and wow, he came across thousands of clay soldiers. The army is organized into 3 pits: the main army, the military guard, and the command unit. No 2 soldiers are the same. Each one has a different face and uniform. The emperor's tomb itself, this is where he's buried, remains sealed. So no one has gone in there. So that's very interesting, some information about the Terracotta Army. All right, we're going to start here tomorrow, and we're going to look at the Chinese words that the author is using. You and I looked at it, was it just last time or 2 times ago? But we looked at some of these words and we realized that the author made a couple mistakes with the way that you say or pronounce these words. So we will start with that tomorrow, and then we have just a couple more gadgets to look at, and then we will get to start chapter 1. All right, thanks for all your help today, Archie. Can't wait until tomorrow.
I'll help you tomorrow.
Thanks. Phew, I'm so relieved. So long.
Bye-bye.
Bye.